Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Joshie.dat. Grab a drink, get settled in, because we are going to play some, not just some, but a lot of levels today, because I owe you guys quite a bit from the last couple of videos. There's the window. Okay. So we are on level 57, European Volleyball, which is, if you remember volleyball from JCCLP1. I got a stupid notification on my phone. There was a level called just regular volleyball in that set. I decided to make a European version of it, I guess, which is just regular volleyball. Don't question the titles. I don't know what I was thinking. I think it's just a fun thing. And, but the level, it's not that fun. It's actually pretty repetitive, and we'll just go ahead and dive right in. The teeth will serve the ball. Nice misspell on the word serve. Pass Josh. Clone fireballs to deflect it back to the toggle button. Under that block is the exit. Okay. So all we have to do is fail. All we have to do is wait for it to come back. We just have to do that quite a few times. I don't know how many times exactly, but that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Count with me, chat. Count with me. Don't count with me. That's what happens when you count with me.
Bummer.
So yeah, this is a pretty repetitive process. You just do this well more than 4 times. I love how that became a meme. It's not really a meme no more, but it was a couple years ago. Makes you kind of wonder what kind of memes are going to come up from this entire playthrough of this set. If any. I think most of the CC Let's Plays I do don't really generate any kind of meme, usually. And if they do or have, I apologize, I don't remember. But that is it. We can just go ahead and fail the game of volleyball. Collect our grand prize of the flippers from the surrounding audience. And take a dunk in the pool for victory. Alright, that is that level. Easy. I probably could have done it last time, but Earthball was just a horrible experience, man. And I didn't feel like doing a deflection type of level right after. If it was something more easy, like a basic collection level with no obstacles or anything, I probably would have kept going, but I couldn't do it after Earthball. It gave me nightmares that night. Okay, we are on Caution Zone. This is originally a Joshie.2 level, but it was one of the few that Tyler recreated in our Ordinary.dat set. That was sadly short-lived, but I should probably revive it by recreating some random Tyler level. So Ordinary.dat is a set that doesn't really come up too often on camera, and when it does, it's usually me doing it because it's partially my set. It's more so Tyler's than my own because Tyler recreated more Joshie.2 levels than I did TS1 levels, which was what the whole set was intended to be. Oh, we gotta go this way. Okay, we got a fun Silkabone that was actually contained, or it wasn't removed in this I'm not sure if you want to call this a remake necessarily. I think this is more of like an enhancement to the original content than it is a recreation. But I guess either term works, I guess. But yeah, I had this long block pushing part in between this item swapper that you're doing. And Tyler repurposed it into a one you actually had to put a little bit of thought into. You couldn't just brute force it and expect every block to be usable. So pretty cool that he can, I keep saying contained, but he retained it. That's the word I'm looking for. Retained. I freshly shaved this morning, so I'm appreciating my looks in the camera. Yeah, I'm excited to give you guys a lot of content because I can record for quite a few hours. I should probably invest into an actual headset one of these days instead of headphones that like to pop out of my ears. But I like that it's more comfortable for me this way. Having a big, blocky thing on your head it's never really appealed to me. I have had headsets like that in the past. Okay, so as long as you just follow the tank pattern, this isn't that bad. Okay, there's no harm in collecting that. Yeah, I think when I originally made this tank pattern wasn't consistent. It was off by like 2 moves or something. Caution, do not proceed if you have a fear of zones. Very good hint. And that's another reason I kind of want to bring back Ordinary.dat is its potential for new freshly worded hints. Yeah, just playing it safe with this teeth. I almost says teeth with this safe. That is Caution Zone completed. I think the flippers just let you go back if you miss something, which is kind of neat. But yeah, Ordinary.dat is a set you should probably at least look at in the editor. I believe the ones I made are in Joshie. I actually have to look because I'm not sure. If they're not, then I need to add them in somewhere. But I think I'd only just add one because Ordinary.dat currently sits at 10 levels that Tyler remade of my Josh All 2 levels, and I remade 4 of his levels in TS1. But the thing is with me, of the 4 I did recreate, only one of them wasn't in CCLP3, which was Chip Braves the Elements, I think. And the other 3 were Review or Entrance Examination. What else was there? Civilization of Creatures, and I can't remember what the other one. Oh, All About Blocks was the other one. I should remember that because there's a ripoff section in that level, but not the point. Okay, Clone Reaction 2. This is a level I actually remember having to fix, because apparently it wasn't solvable. Even back in the Joshie 1 era, it wasn't solvable. Or this might have been one of those levels I fixed for links. And the fix I did didn't translate. I'm not sure what you're waiting on. I think you're waiting on this to blow up. So this is Clone Reaction 2. I don't think we actually played the first one. So this is our first case of, or actually not even the first. This is our second instance of levels with intended sequels that are not ordered properly in this set. Oh, of course when I walk away, they open up. Okay, so... I think... Okay, so you get the skates and the fire boots. And you can go in this room and collect everything. I think when it comes to this series of Clone Reaction levels, this is by far the most interesting one, but that's not saying much because it's the only thing that makes it stand out is the amount of chips. And that's it. Alright, Claustrophobia Road. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one to talk about. I gotta remember how to play it first. I think you do something like this. So this level almost got into CCLP 5. This is one of the few I actually insisted we didn't include. Where do I even go? And I did something wrong. Oh, I didn't hold that down. Whoops. Yeah, this did do pretty well in CCLP 5 voting. Definitely top 149 for sure. I think it was top 100 actually. And this was one of the few I just didn't feel like I didn't feel like seeing it in CCLP 5 compared to the rest of what was slated for the set. Much easier in MS than Lynx, thankfully. Okay, now I can get the skates. So the challenge of this level was massively stemmed from a level that Jeffrey made that was like 3 tiles wide. So I wanted to take it up a notch and make it 2 tiles wide and see if I can make an interesting level. And I certainly did. But I don't know, just compared to other stuff I was getting in CCLP 5, I just didn't, this wasn't one I felt like really deserved to, I guess. I am submitting it for CCLP 6 and onward, so there is hope that this, this could have been, one of those levels that just will naturally flow into CCLP 6 in the future, but hopefully not. For that reason, I hope if it does get into CCLP 6, I hope it's because it does just as well, if not better, than it did in CCLP 5 voting. Kind of like how, what's that level? Ragged Mountain. It did highly in CCLP 4 voting, and it was the highest rated level not included in CCLP 4. That's pretty notorious. It was like 17th place in CCLP 4 voting. And in CCLP 5 voting, it was like top 10. I think it was like number 9 or something. So that was kind of a dead giveaway to put that in the set. Alright, Beef Guild. This is a Trading Places level. And one of the few that I actually... I made something else originally out of this template. I think this uses like retroactive innovation or something. I can't remember the title off the top of my head. But I made some kind of like synchronization concept. Well, that plays out pretty nicely. I can just collect everything in here and not have to worry about those guys at all. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I made something called like synchronized switching or something. And we'll see that in this set for sure, because that's in here. It's one I have since put in CCLP rejects. Or JCCLP rejects, not CCLP rejects. Now that would be an interesting set to see get made. Like there's already like an honorable mentions list for CCLP 2, and you know, there might be some hidden documentation of levels that didn't get into CCLP 3 and 1 and 4 and 5, and just throw them all into one set and, you know, call it CCLP rejects or something. All chips have blocks under them. That might not be a good idea to do, actually, now that I think about it, but it's kind of neat to think about. But yeah, I decided to make this instead because embarrassingly, I forgot how to solve the synchronized level that I made. And I kind of deemed it as unsolvable because I couldn't remember how to do it. So I made something different, something I could actually solve. And it turns out that, yes, it is still solvable, that synchronized level. Because there's a score report on the scoreboard for it for a Pie Guy site. But that is that level. So the inspirations for that were mainly from Eric Schmidt's Shifter, I think it was called. Shifter. It was basically push chips under blocks in rooms with bugs in them, and you kind of affect the pattern of the bug when you push the blocks. So that was the bottom half of that level. The top half was inspired by CC2's Prey, which is, you know, whatever. And you can completely cheese it by just affecting the pattern of the paramecia, which I didn't intend to do, but the fact I did it and not intentionally and still solved it was pretty cool. Alright, Dome House. This is literally a York House ripoff of all the levels I made in Joshua 1. I did indeed make a ripoff of York House. It has more chips, it has a time limit, and the center structure is a dome, or what is supposed to be a dome, according to my probably 2008 self, because I think I started Josh L in 2008. Or no, it was way before then. It was like 2007 when I started. Yeah, that's way late. I'll collect that chip later. I'm not going to chance it. Yeah, I made some really pathetic levels in Josh.dat. But at the time, I was just so happy that I could make my own Chips Challenge levels, you know? I didn't really care to make something spectacular. I was just so excited to make Chips Challenge levels that weren't on paper. And let me tell you, I really wish I could find those on paper levels and share them nowadays. Alright, Dome House is completed. Now we're on Discolored Television. This is a Josh.dat 4 level, so it's a little bit more thoughtfully designed. Not entirely, but Joshua 4 was probably the first instance where I was actually a really good designer. And some parts of Joshua too.
Bummer.
Of course. Could have just done that right away. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, you know, how your level design history shapes out. And like the things that influenced you to get better, and your thought process, you know, completely changes and stuff like that. And it kind of ties into just kind of accepting like the circumstances of like, you know, certain circumstances of like where you are in life or something like that. Like, you know, makes you appreciate the steps you took to get there, you know? Yeah, this part's a little weird. So I need a green key first and foremost. Or do I? I don't know, if I had a green key then I can just win, so. Ah, that's the mechanism. I remember that. So obviously if you get the green key now, the teeth move down and it clones a tank, closes the toggle door, and you're basically dead. So we need to... And you can't bring a block to block this off, because then you block your key. Okay, so I think for this... Okay, so I can literally just do this. All the way down. Set that up, but don't push it yet because you need that pop ball to get the chip in the center structure.
Bummer.
Oh. Alright, we're doing the blobs first. Of course, I actually risk it and I win. I try to play it carefully and I lose. I kind of wish I made the pop-up walls for the blobs a little bit more necessary for the blocks, but they're on the edge, so that's kind of whatever. Okay, I think you can just push it straight down. Yeah. And when it comes to my personal level design history, like the steps all the sets I made to get to the point of where I'm the kind of designer I am now. That's mostly pretty well documented on my wiki page, on the Chips wiki. Which, yeah, it could be a meme, whatever, but I actually care about the kind of path I took for level design in this game. Because this game, this game means a lot to me.
Bummer.
And dying right there did not mean much to me. Oh boy. Well, it's no Earth Ball. So my goal for this video is to get to level 70. And it's looking like we're doing pretty good. I can't remember if there was a chip on the other side of this. I'm trying to count. So there's 4 on the bottom corner. There's 8. There's 8 at the bottom. Okay, there's 1 down there. That's 9. There's 2 in each blob room. That's 11, 13, and there's another one on the next to the other box. That's 14. So I think there is a chip right here. No, there's not. Oh, there's one in the blue wall thing. Oh, then I did this for nothing. Wow, I shouldn't have even died in that in the first place, because I don't think I did anything differently. But we don't have to do that again. I do have to do the blobs still, or... Yeah, I do have to do this one too. Okay, perfect. So unless I screw up the block path for this, this should be a solve. I'm not sure why I named this Discolored Television. I think it just felt edgy to me at the time. Because Joshie.dat 4 was designed in a pretty weird era of my personal life. Okay, so now that we got the all the chips, I never saw a socket anywhere. Where is the socket? Maybe it's through a teleport. No. Oh, there's sockets down there. Oh, I see what I did. I pressed the toggle button elsewhere to the teleport. And now if I get the green key, I can actually duck out and hide. And there we go. Discolored Television is done. Pretty weird level. Not sure what I was going for with it. Alright, a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, this is one I submitted for CCLP 5, and it's just a simple 9x9 monster guiding level. And it's actually kind of interesting how this works. So that closes off the path for the fireball, but what I thought the cleverness in me thought of was, we gotta open that. You go in here, you duck out on the toggle wall, and you can win. That was just such a cool trick that I discovered when I made this, and I loved it, and thought the level was perfect the way that was. Because this was meant for a 9x9 project that me and VT were going to do, and we both made, I don't know, about 10 levels a piece or something like that. Maybe less from me. But we were going to make a full, like, 149 9x9 level set, which does sound appealing, like, as an idea. Like, it sounds like an awesome concept on paper, but when you execute it, there's only so much you can do in a 9x9 space, man. I mean, you can't really make any mazes because you can see everything. So mazes were kind of out of the question. It really just came down to, like, just what kind of puzzles can you make in a 9x9 space. And that's basically what it ended up becoming, was just a puzzle set, which a lot of people love, but I couldn't make different puzzles across 75 9x9 squares. So that was pretty much a dead project, but I did save the ones I made. So that was one of them. Now we're on to strawberry chip sherbet. What level is this from? Oh, Walls of CCLP3. Oh, I forgot I made this kind of level. So, I believe this uses the wall pattern of triple alarm, which is a really awkward wall pattern. And this was like one of the last 4 I had to make, or one of the last 4 templates I had to use. And, you know, you're 145 levels deep into a set. You're almost at the finish line. You kind of just want to finish it. And that's the mentality I had with this level, was I didn't feel like making something incredible. I used the template. I had to use the template for something, so that's what I used this one for. Not the strongest mentality to have for a Walls of set, but you gotta give me some credit, man. CCLP3 was really tough to make a Walls of set of. I'm not even joking. That was a very questionable set to choose. Okay, so you get the skates. I don't think no, you do need these skates. But I know you do need to, because you can collect some of the red keys without red doors if they're next to a skate. Okay, let's see if I can reach this. Yes, I can. Can we go get some ice cream? Sure, meet me at the, no, the Baskin Robbins is gone. Never mind, we're not getting ice cream today, kids. Alright, Infectious Relics, another Walls of CCLP3 level. This one's going to take a bit to remember where this comes from. Can 2x2 2-tile Sokoban. Oh, I remember this concept. This is directly off of Zane. I give full credit for this concept to Zane in his Damnation level. Because this is how you stop these guys from flipping. Wow, that is a pattern. Okay, this is weird. But actually kind of cool. I don't think I would have designed that outside of the Walls of context. Okay, I got an extra block for something. I remember this being like a, yeah, kind of that. Oh, this is Pocket Puzzle. Okay, yeah, this is 100% pocket puzzle. I think Walls of CCLP3 was a questionable set to make a Walls of set out of at the end of the day, but I think the most fun aspect I had with it was the wall patterns I got out of it were so varied compared to other sets. Because CCLP3, sorry, I gotta rub my eye, it's itching. CCLP3 had 36 unique designers for its levels. And that set came from an era where walls of levels were kind of opposed. Because there was that whole, Ranger Denmark copying Lesson 8's template. And no one liked it or thought it was acceptable for CCLP standards. And then we went from just, let's just throw 85 walls of levels into CCLP 5. Okay, I thought there might have been something under there. I think in Walls of CCLP 3 itself there was. Okay. Okay, I thought it was just a big open room at first. Okay, what do we got here? This is a crazy section. Oh, I shouldn't have done it that way. Wow, I gotta replay the whole level now because I did that. Not unless I can get through this blob thing. I think my odds are better in the lottery. This does not look like it's gonna be doable. Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Okay, we are back at this section. A lot more time. Okay, let's just not push the block, please. Guess I should have remembered that. Yeah, Pocket Puzzle was a weird template to work with. Not as weird as other templates, though. It was definitely strange. There you go. Take a drink, my friend. You deserve it. Now we can collect all these keys, which you don't even need. So let's just get rid of that, because don't even need the keys for nothing. Alright, Infectious Relics is done. I don't know why I even named it that. It just felt like a random variety level to me. That's why I just gave it like a fairly generic title. It doesn't reference anything. I think it was back when I generated level titles. I think this was one of the ones that generated, and I thought, oh, that'd be kind of cool for, a theme, a variety level that didn't really follow a theme. And this one really didn't. It was just kind of a collection of concepts and thrown in a mixture. So I could have named it something different, but I didn't. Alright, Moto Stoke Stadium. This one is a reference. That is a real blue wall. This is a reference to a city in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I'm sorry is my least favorite games in the whole franchise. This is basically a collection of Sokoban-esque rooms, or rooms that fixate on extracting a block or just something that involves a block. It's pretty much what this level is. This is a trading places level that uses a wall pattern from a Ultimate Chip 2 level, so not one of the Ultimate Chip 6 ones. And you can just block those off. Okay. Do that. And then... Oh. Oh. I made an oopsie. Because...
Bummer.
Yeah, you can't do that no more. Oops. Yeah, let's get that block there first. I think the Ultimate Chip 2 level I used was called Monsters, Inc. Which, excellent movie, by the way. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I recently watched Monsters University again. And that is also a good movie. Good prequel. Just like Josh.dat will be a good prequel. Not really, it's just a collection of what I consider my best of the best levels I've made. Which, as of this recording, Martin is not... He's playtesting it for the level order. He's giving me his thoughts on the level order, which I've gotten good comments on, and there was apparently a unsolvable level in there that has since been fixed. I like that avalanche style room and how it completes the outside aesthetic once you're done with it. Yes, a classic block invisible wall room. Something that I have taken a keen liking to doing. But I'm not as willing to do it nowadays. But they're good on small scales like this. Like, that's completely reasonable. Okay. I think you have to collect that. And you have to collect this. Do that. Oh, then you do that. Then you get the green key. And then you get the yellow key, which you don't even need, but you have it. Pretty easy teeth room. I probably could have made that a little bit more challenging, to be completely real with you. Let's go ahead and do this room next. This one's pretty straightforward. Probably could have made this fireball a bit more of a threat as well, or more of a interesting challenge. But at least the walker is. The walker is kind of the highlight anyway, so I guess it's fine. So you're probably wondering, why do I dislike Sword and Shield so much? It's not that I dislike them. I think they were good games. They had a good collection of Pokemon. I mean, Generation 8 was kind of a weird generation, in my opinion. But there are some favorites I have from it. I just think the storyline was a little bit weird. Oh, there goes the yellow key I collected. There's some fire boots I just collected. There's some fire boots I just got stolen. And there's my exit. Cool. It was just weirdly... It just felt weird to play through. Like, maybe it was just the time of what was going on in my personal life at the time when it came out, and I just haven't replayed it with a different mentality like I have now. But, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. And I played through both Sword and Shield, like, in full. I did the first DLC with the Isle Armor, but didn't do the Crown Tundra, which is a level in this set. I don't know when it's coming up, but it will be here soon. But I didn't play the DLC because it didn't really look interesting to me. Alright, Chevron Gas Station. Collect your gold coins and use them to get 1 block per station. Then use the red keys to enter the mart below. Okay, apparently we were at a gas station. I think I made this largely because there is a Chevron gas station about half a mile from my house. Which, sure. I might be doxing myself, but if you know me, you know I live in a campo. The greatest CDP on Earth. Actually, it's not that good. It's actually pretty crummy. But that Chevron is still there. I don't get my gasoline from there because it is insanely overpriced compared to other places that you can go to. But I will not argue that it is good gasoline. It's just not worth my money. I can't remember if this is a rejects level or if this is a level I made for Josh. It's in Josh L3. I don't remember which one it comes from. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Right off the bat, I believe this is a rejects level. I think it is. So we're gonna go off that assumption because this doesn't feel like something I would keep in Josh L3. Alright, so we can go into the mart now. And that's supposed to kind of replicate like sliding glass doors. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. Collect the skates and go into the fridge section. See, I was very methodical about how I approached a gas station level. You got the concession, the stand where the cashiers is behind the counter. You have the your cold drink section, which reminds you if you don't have a drink, you better go get one. You gotta stay hydrated. So we can just... I think you need this guy? I think you need that teeth, so you don't want to get him trapped or kill him. And yes, this is a Pokemon-themed water bottle. Oh yeah, you definitely need the teeth. Okay. So this is what I kind of visualized as like the back storage room. Which is kind of weird, but... Hey, you can't blame me for having an imagination. All right, Mr. Cashier, help me collect some stuff. This next one is going to be hard because there's that bomb that I very annoyingly put there. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? So I just want to go down really quick. Okay. Okay, so now I can kill him. Thank you, cashier. Wasted potential not to put more keys or chips back here, but I guess that is okay. So... Oh, you do need the other skate. Oh, good thing I didn't collect both of them. I didn't even think about that. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, 4 chips left. Where... Right back here. Alright, and we can go and exit inside the logo of Chevron. Alright, not that bad of a level. Kind of weirdly spaced out. I guess the teeth section's kind of neat, but that bomb was pretty mean. I'm glad I didn't kill the teeth. That was pretty lucky. But, yeah, that's... It was okay. I think the beginning was kind of dumb because you had to go to every pump, which, you know, is thematic for a gas station, I guess. But, I don't know. If you're going to end up just robbing the place and killing the cashier, what's the point, you know? Orange of the Fire, level 69. Okay, this is, I will admit, this is a... I took some liberties with placing this level. I did intentionally put it at level 69 because, you know, it's a nice level. Nice level, references a funny number. Well, what more can you ask for, man? You know, references some lyrics to the song Colors for Extreme. And most importantly, it's a blue wall level. That makes it automatically good. And I don't remember if it's completely symmetrical. And if you cannot tell, this level is shaped like the number 69 as well. I think this might be completely symmetrical. This was a level I made in Joshie.dat 5, by the way. There's other levels I made with the Colors for Extreme lyrics, like Red with a Twist, Green of Tourmaline. I didn't make Yellow Mellow Hello Hello. That was actually Jeffrey that made that, which is in CCTLP 1. Which, I do plan on going back to that. I know the last time I played it, or when I got back into it, I streamed it on Twitch probably over a year ago now. And I did like 60 levels in like 3 or 4 hours. I had a blast doing it. I really did. I had so much fun playing through it. And I do want to do that again. Okay, I can never remember where the exit is. Is it down here? Oh, a hint is. Easter egg. Wasted potential just to say nice. But yeah, CC2LP1, I do want to go back to streaming it. Maybe I'll make that a Twitch exclusive experience. Because I do want to do YouTube streaming pretty soon. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. I'm trying to make sure I have like a time frame that matches up with most everyone. So nothing's official yet, and I'll make sure to mention it when we do. All right, Prison Hall. All right, finally after 69 levels, we have our first Josh L7 level. Everybody, we finally have an entry on the Josh L7 list. It is actually kind of funny that it is level 72. Not 72 the number, obviously you see it right there, 70. This is just a really weird level I made out of my own wall template. That apparently I screwed up. It's kind of basically like a very, very small version of investment. You start with one block and you need to get others. And now I see what I did wrong. No, that is also wrong. Wow, I'm messing up on a level I consider really easy. The name apparently comes from a Sonic game, if I remember correctly. Someone told me this. I don't remember who it was. Also, I know I just messed up again. A little too much in a hurry, dude. Wow. How many ways can you screw up a really small level? Now, this template was used for Volt Line in CCLP5. Oh yeah, this is what you do. Okay, now I remember. Let's just make sure we open that up. And JB recently used this template because he's making a walls of CCLP5, which I'm very surprised considering how many walls of levels are in it, some of which he has used himself already. So he's having to reuse templates like multiple times, which is, I don't know, that's an insane endeavor to me, but kudos for doing it. And I'm looking forward to it. This ball is here to prevent a slide delay bust. You're here because you were curious. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I think Jeffrey told me it does fix a bust. But I didn't really get the reassurance necessary to believe it. So I just went with it and no one said nothing otherwise. So yeah. So that is it for me, everybody. You got a full hour's worth of Joshie today. And we are back on track to the start of a new decade, the 70s. Starting with Game Boy, which will be pretty weird to jump back into, but it'll be fun to talk about. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and update the counts of everything. Let me move the window here. And let's go to the menu screen. I'm gonna start doing like this count stuff like off camera. Like I'm gonna just cut ahead to where it's all tallied up correctly. And there we have it. There is our new totals from today's session. Finally happy to see Joshie.dat gets something other than a 0 because it was stuck at 0 for a good while. But it's nice to see it's finally on the list. It's worth mentioning that we played a level from every single set but Walls of CC1. No Walls of CC1 levels came up today, so which is not surprising. It does have a low total, but we encountered a other level, which is should be rarer, but they're both at 4, so that's fine. But yeah, that'll be it for me today, everybody. Something I'm thinking about doing for the future of deciding like what, or kind of saying where the levels come from, like the source sets down here. I'm thinking about just playing this on a new version of Tile World 2. Tile World 2.3 has a feature where it has an author tag at the bottom where you see the title of the level. There's a separate box that is intended to showcase the level designer's name as you play it constantly. Instead of using it for that purpose for this set, what I'm thinking about doing is going through the editor of this with this set open and going through all the levels and typing out or listing which level came from what set for the sake of this Let's Play. I think that is a smart idea. It's a tedious one for sure, but I am more than willing to do it. And that way I don't have to state, oh, this comes from that's a Josh L4 level, that's a Josh L2 level, oh, this comes from L1, I'm sure that doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother me either, but it'll be one less thing to mention. You just see it on screen constantly and don't have to scroll back, oh, what level did this come from again? And you have to wait and see the final count of the video. So that's something to look forward to moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that now. I did want to record more than what I did today, but you guys got 14 levels out of me, so that's plenty for you. A nice over hour long video for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again, or look forward to you seeing me again, I should say. And hopefully have some good vibes and good energy around here, because this world needs it more than ever. If you know, you know. But thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Be happy. Be kind to others for no reason. And make the best of everything. And appreciate you. And know you are valued and you are loved by someone out there. Thank you for watching. See you guys later.